The transport ship touched down on the ice moon with a soft thud. Looked through the viewport at the frozen landscape outside. Everything was white and gray. Mountains of ice stretched toward a pale sky. The temperature reading on his wrist display showed -60 degrees Celsius. "Ready?" he asked his team. Lee checked her medical kit one more time. She was the group's doctor and scientist. "All set. Let's meet our new friends." The airlock door opened with a hiss. Cold air rushed into the chamber, but it felt refreshing too. He had spent 5 years working in Earth's Arctic regions. This was colder, yes, but not impossible. He wore a thick thermal jacket, insulated pants, and good boots. Nothing more. The human delegation walked down the ramp onto the icy surface. Their breath created small clouds in the frozen air, pulled his jacket and smiled. They were making history today. First contact with an alien civilization. Across the landing area, he saw the ships. They looked like silver eggs resting on the ice. A door opened in the nearest ship. Something emerged. Had seen pictures, but seeing the in person was different. The first alien looked like a tall lizard walking on 2 legs. Its skin had green and blue scales, but what caught attention was what it wore. The alien was covered in a massive environmental suit, tubes connected to a box on its back. Heat waves shimmered around the suit. More aliens came out. One looked like a giant insect with 4 arms. Another resembled a bird but with hands instead of wings. All of them wore similar heavy suits. All of them had heating units making the air around them ripple. The lizard-like alien approached slowly. Its suit made mechanical sounds with each step. When it got close, saw its eyes behind a transparent face shield. Those eyes looked confused. "Greetings," the alien said. Its voice came through a speaker on its suit. "I am representative of the Alliance. You are the humans." "Yes," said, extending his hand. "I'm expedition leader. Welcome to Terminus 7. Stared its bare hand. You are not wearing environmental protection." Looked down at himself. This is enough for us." "Impossible." The insect-like alien stepped forward. "Our readings show surface temperature is -62 degrees. Your species should be suffering from rapid heat loss. Hypothermia. Your tissues should be freezing." Smiled. "We're fine, really. Humans can handle cold pretty well." The aliens looked at each other. Even through their suits could sense their confusion. Made a gesture with one clawed hand. "Please, let us move inside the facility. We should not remain exposed to this environment." They walked toward the meeting building. It was a simple structure built for these negotiations. Half human design, half. Inside, the aliens moved quickly to a section with heating panels. The humans took seats in the cooler section. Through the transparent wall between them watched the humans, took off his gloves, unzipped her jacket. They looked completely comfortable. "Your biology confuses us," said through the communication system. "We have studied the data you sent. Your planet Earth has temperatures ranging widely, but this is extreme cold. How are you not dying?" Leaned forward. "Our bodies are built for it. Humans evolved on a planet with big temperature changes. We had ice ages. Our ancestors survived in conditions much colder than this." "But your body temperature is only about 37 degrees, K," the insect alien said. "In this cold, you should lose heat rapidly. Your core temperature should drop. You should die." "We have adaptations," explained. "Our blood vessels tighten in cold weather. This keeps blood in our core, protecting important organs. We shiver to create heat. We have special fat in our bodies that generates warmth. It's all automatic." The aliens were silent, then spoke quietly. "We require heating units to survive anything below 15 degrees Celsius. Our biology cannot generate sufficient warmth. If our suits failed in this cold, we would die in minutes." Felt a strange sadness. These advanced aliens, with their incredible ships and technology, were prisoners of their own biology. "Every species evolves differently," he said. You have other advantages, I'm sure. Later, they shared a meal. They watched in horror as the humans drank cold water, even added ice cubes to hers. You are consuming frozen water, said, by choice. It's refreshing, said, taking another sip. This is madness, Kay whispered too. They consume cold substances. They walk in lethal temperatures wearing minimal protection. Are we certain they are a carbon-based life form? Heard the whisper. The translator devices were very good. He tried not to smile. He understood their confusion. To them, humans must seem impossible, like creatures from a nightmare world. As the day ended, approached privately, the alien's heating suit hummed softly. I must ask, are you showing off? Is this a display of strength to impress us? Met the alien's eyes. No, this is just normal for us. My teammate worked in Antarctica for 3 years. I spent time in Siberia. This moon is cold, but humans have lived in cold places for thousands of years. We know how to survive it. Was quiet for a long moment. Your species is very strange. We thought first contact would be with beings similar to us, but you are so different. You thrive where we cannot exist without technology. Maybe that's good, said. Maybe different is exactly what makes this interesting. That night stood outside the facility alone. The stars above the ice moon were beautiful. Cold wind touched his face. His breath created clouds of mist. He could hear the facility humming with heating units working overtime. Somewhere behind him came outside. She stood next to him without speaking. They looked at the alien ships together. They're scared of the cold, she said softly. Yes, agreed. And we're not. No, we're not. Smiled. This is going to be an interesting friendship. Nodded. The cold wind blew stronger. He barely noticed it. Somewhere inside, the aliens were probably monitoring them, wondering how 2 humans could stand outside in -60 degrees and simply talk. Let them wonder, thought. Let them see what humans could do. Tomorrow, they would begin real negotiations. Tomorrow, they would start building a relationship between species. But tonight, just enjoyed the cold. It reminded him of home. It reminded him that humans had survived worse than this and would survive whatever came next. The ice moon was their meeting ground, but to the humans it was just another cold day. Nothing special, nothing impossible. Just another place where humans could live. The alarm woke everyone at dawn, rushed to the atmospheric monitoring station and stared at the screens. Her face went pale. We have a problem. Arrived seconds later, still pulling on his jacket. What is it? Storm, said, pointing at the data. Massive ice storm. It's moving faster than predicted. It'll hit us in 4 hours. Within minutes, both human and teams gathered in the main meeting room. His heating suit made nervous clicking sounds. The alien's eyes moved rapidly across the data displays. This is catastrophic, said. The storm registers winds of 200 kilometers per hour. Temperature will drop to -85 degrees. Our environmental shields cannot withstand this. We must evacuate immediately. The bird-like alien security chief nodded. I have already ordered our ships to prepare for launch. All personnel must leave within 2 hours. Looked at his own team. Park, their engineer, was studying the storm data carefully. What do you think? Asked him. Scratched his chin. It's bad, but not impossible. The facility was built for storms. If we secure everything properly, we should be fine. Should be. Kay's antennae twitched with alarm. You speak with uncertainty about lethal conditions. Stepped forward. We've handled worse on Earth. This storm is dangerous, but humans have survived in similar conditions many times. Turned to face the humans directly. You wish to remain here during this storm. The negotiations aren't finished, said. If we all leave now, it will take weeks to reschedule. We lose momentum. I suggest we ride out the storm and continue our talks afterward. The room fell silent. The aliens looked at each other with what seemed like disbelief. Finally spoke. You truly believe your species can survive this? Yes, said simply. Made a harsh sound. This is foolishness. Your biology may handle cold better than ours, but this storm will kill any unprotected life. Even you must see this. Pulled up more data. Actually, the facility's core structure is solid. The main risk is if we lose power, our heating systems would fail. But even then, humans can survive for days in these temperatures if we're properly prepared. Days, Doctor, the amphibian-like physician, stepped closer to the screen. You can survive for days at -85 degrees. With the right shelter and clothing, yes, said. It won't be comfortable, but it's possible. Made a decision. We cannot risk lives based on human confidence. We will evacuate. However, the alien paused. Our ships cannot launch safely once the storm arrives. If you truly wish to stay, we have no choice but to remain as well. We will shelter in our ships. You may shelter in the facility. Deal, said. The next 2 hours passed quickly. The humans prepared the facility while they retreated to their ships, and his team secured all the external equipment. They brought in extra supplies. They checked every seal and door. Monitored the storm's approach. 1 hour, she called out, wind speed increasing, temperature already dropping to -70. Stood outside, feeling the growing wind. Ice particles stung his face. The sky had turned dark gray. In the distance, he could see the storm wall approaching. It looked like a solid curtain of white. Called from the doorway, get inside. He took one more look at the alien ships. They had closed all external ports. Heat shimmer surrounded each vessel, their environmental systems working at maximum. He hoped they would be safe. The storm hit like a hammer. Wind screamed around the facility. Ice pelted the walls. The building shook but held firm. Inside, the humans gathered in the central room. They wore their cold weather gear but seemed calm. Temperature outside is -82, reported. Wind speed is 190 kilometers per hour. Visibility 0. Then the lights flickered, once, twice, then darkness. Power's out, said. Emergency lights came on, casting everything in red. Main generator failed. The storm must have damaged something. Checked her wrist display. Temperature inside is dropping. We're at 12 degrees now. In 30 minutes, it'll be below 0. His voice came through the communication system. The signal was weak and broken. Humans, what is your status? We lost power, responded. We're going to try to fix it. Negative, his voice broke through. You cannot go outside, those conditions are lethal. Was already putting on goggles and extra gloves. The generator is just outside the north wall. I can reach it and assess the damage. It's -80 out there, said, but her voice wasn't stopping him. It was just concern. I know, said, I'll be quick. He went into the airlock. The outer door opened. The storm's roar became deafening, then was gone, swallowed by the white chaos. Watched through the external cameras, but visibility was almost 0. He could barely see thermal signature moving toward the generator building. In the ships, panic had set in. Kay watched the thermal camera in disbelief. He is outside. A human is outside in the storm. This is madness. Said nothing. The alien simply watched the screen, trying to understand what it was seeing. 15 minutes passed, the longest 15 minutes of his life. Then the airlock opened. Stumbled in, covered in ice. He pulled off his goggles. His face was red from cold, but he was smiling. Ice buildup on the fuel line, he said, breathing hard. I cleared it. Generator should restart in a minute. Rushed to check him. Your core temperature. 36.2, said. I'm fine, just need to warm up a bit. The lights came back on. Heat began flowing through the facility again, helped remove his ice-covered jacket. The man had been outside in -80-degree winds for 15 minutes, and he was fine. It was voice on the communicator. Did your engineer just repair the generator? In the storm. Yes, confirmed. Silence then, impossible. An hour later, the wind grew even worse. Instruments showed the storm reaching its peak. Then one of her monitors started beeping. The antenna array is down. We've lost long-range communications. The antenna is on the roof, said. Can it wait until after the storm? Frowned. If we need to call for emergency help, we won't be able to. And they might need to contact their fleet. Looked at her. Can you fix it? If I can reach it, yes, said. The connection is probably just frozen or knocked loose. She went to the equipment room. 5 minutes later, she emerged wearing full cold weather gear and carrying tools. The roof access is internal. I should be able to reach the antenna housing without going fully outside. Should take 20 minutes. Should, said with a slight smile. That word again. Grinned and left. In the ships, watched another human venture into hostile conditions. The bird-like alien paced nervously. They are going to die. They must die. No biological organism can survive what they are enduring. But the humans didn't die. Returned 30 minutes later, ice in her hair, frost on her eyebrows. Fixed it, just ice build up again. Communications restored. His voice came through immediately. Humans, we have been monitoring you. You have now sent 2 individuals into lethal storm conditions. Both survived. Both completed their tasks. We need to understand. How is this possible? Looked at his team. They were cold, tired, but safe. We're built for this, he said. Our bodies are made to handle cold. We've been doing this for thousands of years on Earth. This storm is bad, but humans have survived worse. The storm raged for 8 more hours. The humans stayed warm inside their facility. They ate hot food. They drank coffee. They played cards to pass the time. Through the windows, they could see the white fury outside. It looked like the end of the world, but inside they were fine. When the storm finally passed, the sky cleared. Stepped outside. The world was buried under fresh ice and snow, but it was beautiful, peaceful. The ship's doors opened. Aliens emerged in their heating suits, looking around at the aftermath. They saw standing there in just his jacket, breathing the -70-degree air like it was nothing. Approached slowly. You survived. Yes, said. Your engineers worked in conditions that would kill my people in minutes. Yes. You are either the bravest species we have ever met, said quietly, or the most insane. Smiled. Maybe we're both. After the storm, the wanted answers. Doctor insisted on conducting medical examinations. Agreed, curiosity replacing skepticism. The humans consented, understanding that trust required transparency. Led the medical exchange. She worked with a human medical researcher who specialized in extreme environment biology. Together, they prepared to share human biological data with their alien counterparts. The examination room was divided. One side kept warm for the other at normal room temperature for humans. Doctor worked with careful precision, scanning with alien instruments. Remarkable, Doctor said, studying the readings. The amphibian-like alien skin glistened under the heating lamps. Your circulatory system is highly adaptive. When exposed to cold, your peripheral blood vessels constrict dramatically. This preserves core heat. Nodded. We call it vasoconstriction. It's automatic. Our bodies redirect blood flow from our extremities to protect vital organs. That's why fingers and toes get cold first. But this should cause tissue damage, Kay said. The insect alien observed from the warm section. Reduced blood flow means reduced oxygen. Cells should die. They can if exposure is too long, explained. That's frostbite, but humans have high tolerance. We can endure reduced blood flow for extended periods without permanent damage. Our cells are efficient at low temperatures. Doctor pulled up comparative data. Images showed biology next to human biology. Look at this, the doctor said. Blood becomes viscous below 20 degrees Celsius. It cannot flow properly. Our hearts cannot pump it, but human blood remains fluid even at much lower temperatures. Evolution said, humans evolved during ice ages. Our ancestors lived through periods where ice covered much of Earth. Those who couldn't handle cold didn't survive to pass on their genes. Natural selection made us cold-resistant. Entered the room, listening carefully. You mentioned ice ages. These were global climate events. Yes, said, lasting thousands of years. Temperatures dropped dramatically. Many species went extinct. Humans survived by adapting. We developed tools, clothing, fire, but we also developed biological adaptations, better temperature regulation, more efficient heat generation. Your planet sounds hostile, said quietly. Earth has extremes, admitted. We have deserts where temperatures reach 50 degrees Celsius. We have polar regions where it drops to -40 or lower. We have hurricanes, earthquakes, volcanoes. Humans learn to live in all of it. Doctor made a thoughtful sound. The is stable. Temperatures vary only between 18 and 28 degrees year-round. We evolved in gentle, consistent conditions. We never needed such extreme adaptations. Different worlds create different species, said. Neither is better, just different. The real surprise came 3 days later. A technician named started showing symptoms. The alien scales turned pale. It shivered constantly despite its heating suit working perfectly. Fever developed quickly. Doctor diagnosed it immediately. Frost fever, common in exposed to cold environments even with protection. The stress of cold exposure weakens our immune system. Microbes that normally cause no harm become dangerous. What's the treatment? Asked concerned. Rest, warmth, medication to support the immune system. Will need 2 weeks to recover fully, perhaps 3. The sick was taken to the medical bay. The alien looked miserable, wrapped in heating blankets, scales dull and lifeless. That same day started sneezing. Then her nose began running. Within hours, 3 more humans showed similar symptoms. Examined them all. Common cold, she diagnosed. Probably from exposure to microbes. Our immune systems haven't seen these organisms before. Doctor rushed to the human medical area, heating suit humming. Cold, what is this? You are ill. Minor illness, explained. Viral infection of the upper respiratory system. Causes congestion, sneezing, mild discomfort. Very common on Earth. Minor, doctor's large eyes widened. You are showing symptoms of infection from alien microorganisms. This is extremely serious. We must quarantine immediately. Your immune systems have no defense against our pathogens. Song, one of the infected humans, laughed then coughed. I'll be fine, doctor. Just need some rest and fluids. Fine, doctor looked horrified. You could die. Cross-species infection is often fatal. Not for humans, said gently. Our immune systems are very aggressive. When we encounter new pathogens, our bodies attack them hard and fast. It causes inflammation and discomfort, but it usually works. Usually, Kay had joined doctor, you accept uncertainty with your lives. Pulled up medical data. Let me show you something. This is a human immune response graph. See how quickly our white blood cells mobilize. Within hours of infection, we have millions of immune cells attacking the pathogen. We also develop fever, which helps kill temperature-sensitive organisms. Doctor studied the data in silence. Then the alien pulled up immune response data. The contrast was stark. Our immune response is much slower. It takes days to mobilize fully. We rely on gentle, precise targeting of pathogens. Your approach is like attacking with a hammer instead of a scalpel, finished. Yes, human immune response causes lots of collateral damage. That's why we feel bad when we're sick. Our own immune system makes us miserable, but it kills infections quickly. Over the next several days, Doctor watched the sick humans carefully. The alien expected them to worsen, to require extensive medical intervention. Instead, they improved. Returned to work after 3 days, still sniffling but functional. Recovered fully in 5 days. The others followed similar patterns. Meanwhile, there was still in the medical bay, still feverish, still weak. The alien would need another week of recovery at minimum. I don't understand, Doctor said too. You were infected by completely foreign microorganisms. Your immune system had never encountered these pathogens before. You should have died, or at least required intensive medical support, but you just recovered, naturally, quickly. Smiled sympathetically. Our immune systems evolved on a planet full of hostile microbes. Earth has billions of species of bacteria, viruses, fungi. Humans are constantly exposed to new pathogens. Our immune systems learn to be fast and aggressive because anything less meant death. The is cleaner, Doctor said slowly, understanding dawning. We have far fewer pathogenic species. Our immune systems never needed such aggressive responses. That's why your medical technology is so advanced, said. You needed it. Your biology couldn't fight infections as effectively, so you developed technology to help. Humans didn't have that option. Our ancestors either fought off infections naturally or died. The survivors passed on strong immune genes. Visited the medical bay that evening. The alien leader looked at the recovering humans, then at still lying in the heating bed. You survive infections that cripple us. You work in cold that kills us. You eat foods that would sicken us. What else can humans endure that we cannot? Probably lots of things, admitted. Just as there are things you can endure that we can't. Every species has strengths and weaknesses. But your weaknesses seem much less severe than ours, said quietly. You call these illnesses minor. You call -80 degrees manageable. What do humans consider truly dangerous? Had been listening from the doorway. Lots of things, he said. Radiation, certain toxins, vacuum, extreme heat beyond 50 degrees for extended periods. We're not invincible, we just evolved to handle Earth-specific dangers. Your species evolved for your world's conditions. But you come from a world that tried to kill you, Kay said. You survived. You thrived. You built civilization despite hostile conditions that had everything easy. We built civilization because we had peace, stability, safety. Different paths to the same destination, said, both valid. Doctor approached carefully. I must ask, if your immune systems are so effective, why do you need doctors at all? Considered the question. Because sometimes our immune systems fail. Sometimes infections are too strong or too fast. Sometimes people are born with weak immune systems. And sometimes our aggressive immune response becomes the problem. We can have autoimmune diseases where our body attacks itself. Medical science helps in all those cases. I see, Doctor said. So you are not invulnerable, just highly resistant. Exactly, confirmed. Humans are tough, but we're not magical. We just evolved to take a beating and keep going. A week after the illnesses began, all the humans were fully recovered. Was still recovering, though improving. The contrast was not lost on anyone. Called a special meeting. All humans and senior attended. The alien leader spoke carefully. We have observed humans for 2 weeks. We have seen you survive cold that kills us. We have watched you recover from illness that would require us weeks of medical care. We have witnessed you work in conditions we consider lethal. The room was quiet, continued. We came here expecting to meet equals, species similar to us in capability and limitation. Instead, we found something different, something unexpected. Felt tension rising. Where was this going? We found survivors, said. We found a species that evolved in hell and learned to thrive there. They are advanced, yes. Our technology is sophisticated, but we are fragile. You humans are resilient in ways we can barely comprehend. What are you saying? Asked. I am saying, replied, that we need each other more than we realized. Commander arrived on the 3rd week. The crustacean-like alien was large and imposing, with a hard shell covering most of its body, commanded the Alliance Military Observation Unit. The commander's job was to assess potential allies for reliability and capability. Did not look impressed. "I have read the reports," the commander said in the conference room. "They claim humans can operate in extreme cold, that they resist temperature extremes without advanced technology. I find these claims difficult to believe." Remained calm. "We've demonstrated our capabilities repeatedly. Your own scientists have documented everything." "Demonstrations in controlled environments," said dismissively. "Standing outside in cold while wearing protective clothing is not impressive. Operating from a heated facility during a storm is not impressive. I need to see real capability, field capability." Shifted uncomfortably. "Commander, the humans have proven themselves. We should not doubt their word." "I doubt everyone's word," replied. "It is my job. If the Alliance is to ally with humanity, I must know our allies can handle genuine hardship, not controlled tests, not safe demonstrations, real conditions." "What do you propose?" asked. Pulled up a map of Terminus 7. A red zone glowed in the southern region. The polar valleys, temperatures there reach -90 degrees even on calm days. The terrain is treacherous. Ice cliffs, crevasses, wind tunnels. It is the most hostile region on this moon. "And you want us to go there?" asked. "I propose a joint training exercise," said. "Mixed teams of humans and we test our interoperability. We assess real capabilities under genuine stress. If humans are as capable as claimed, this should be simple." Looked at his team. He saw understanding in their eyes. This was a test. Didn't believe the reports and needed proof. If they refused, the commander would doubt them forever. If they accepted and failed, the Alliance could fail. "We accept," said Wuhan, and arrived the next day. They were human survival instructors, specialists in extreme environment operations. Wu had spent 10 years teaching Arctic survival to Earth's military forces, had led research teams in Antarctica during winter storms. Both looked at the polar valley's data and smiled. "Looks fun," said. Did not understand human humor. The expedition launched 2 days later. 6 humans and 6 formed 2 mixed teams. Each team included soldiers, scientists, and support personnel. They wore their heaviest environmental suits. The humans wore cold weather gear similar to what they'd use on Earth. The transport dropped them at the edge of the polar valleys. When the doors opened, wind hit them immediately. The temperature registered -86 degrees. "This is the easy part," said through the communication system. "The valleys are worse." They began hiking. The terrain was brutal. Ice covered everything at odd angles. They had to climb over frozen ridges and navigate around deep crevasses. The wind never stopped. Within an hour, they were struggling. Their environmental suits were sophisticated but heavy. The aliens moved slowly, carefully, expending enormous energy just to walk. The humans moved easier. Wu led the way, choosing paths and testing ice stability, helped them navigate difficult sections. The humans' lighter gear allowed better mobility. "How are you not freezing?" asked a soldier on his team. The alien suit showed its heating unit working at maximum capacity. "We are freezing," admitted. "But our bodies compensate. We generate heat through movement. Our muscles create warmth when we exercise. The more we move, the warmer we stay." "That seems backwards," said. "Movement exposes you more to cold." "For you, maybe," said. "For humans, movement equals survival in cold weather. Standing still is more dangerous." They descended into the first valley. The temperature dropped to -90. Wind funneled through the narrow canyon, creating a roar that made communication difficult. Ice walls rose on both sides, reflecting sound in strange ways. One of the scientists, Prill, lost footing on an ice slope. The alien slid backward, unable to stop, reacted instantly. She dropped low, dug her boots into the ice, and caught Prill's suit with both hands. The alien outweighed her significantly but held on, muscles straining. "I've got you," she shouted. Wu and another human helped pull Prill back to stable ground. Prill's suit showed alarms. Heating unit damaged in the fall, efficiency down to 60%. His voice came through the communication channel. "Can you continue?" "For a limited time," Prill said, "but my suit temperature is dropping. I have perhaps 30 minutes before I must return to the transport." "Then we abort," said. "Mission failure due to equipment malfunction." "Wait," Wu said. "We can help." He pulled off his outer jacket. "Prill, open your suit access panel. That will expose me to the cold." "Only for a moment, trust me." Reluctantly, Prill opened a panel on the suit. Wu quickly wrapped his jacket around the opening, creating insulation. Then he pulled an emergency thermal blanket from his pack and wrapped it around Prill's suit torso. "Humans use multiple layers to trap warm air," Wu explained. "Your suit works as one layer. My jacket is another. The blanket is a third. Each layer traps heat. Together, they should help your heating unit maintain temperature even at reduced efficiency." Prill's suit sensors showed temperature stabilizing. "It's working. My core temperature is holding steady." Said nothing but heard something in the silence. Surprise, maybe, respect. They continued deeper into the valleys. The exercise called for them to reach a specific waypoint, document environmental data, and return. Simple in theory, brutal in practice. At the 4-hour mark, disaster struck. The bird-like security chief stepped on unstable ice. The surface gave way, dropped into a crevasse. Everyone rushed to the edge. The crevasse was deep, maybe 20 meters, hung from a safety line, but the alien suit showed critical damage. One heating tube had ruptured. Freezing air poured into the suit. "I'm losing heat rapidly," reported. "Internal temperature dropping. I have 5 minutes, maybe less, before hypothermia." "Try to stay calm. We need to extract immediately. Begin rescue procedures." But the rescue equipment was designed for their environmental suits. It would take time to rig properly, time they didn't have. Was already tying rope around her waist. "I'm going down." "Negative," said. "That crevasse is minus 95 degrees. You'll die." "I'll be fast," said. She went over the edge before anyone could stop her. And Wu held the rope, lowering her carefully. Through the communication channel they heard breathing, fast but controlled. She reached in less than a minute. "Got you," said. She pulled off her outer layer and wrapped it around. Then she pressed her own body against the alien suit, sharing body heat. "Pull us up, fast." They hauled both of them up. It took 3 minutes. When they reached the surface, was barely conscious, was shivering violently, her lips blue. Rushed to check's core temperature. 35.2 degrees. You're borderline hypothermic yourself. "I'm fine," said through chattering teeth. "Is okay." Helped to shelter behind an ice wall. The alien suit was ruined but was alive. Barely. The bird-like alien's body temperature had dropped dangerously low. Wu and 2 other humans gathered around. "We need to warm the commander now," Wu said. "Get close. Use body heat." The 3 humans pressed against damaged suit, sharing their warmth. They wrapped blankets around everyone, creating a cocoon. Slowly, carefully, they shared heat with the dying alien. Watched in stunned silence. The humans were making themselves cold to save they were risking their own safety for an alien they barely knew. "Your core temperatures are dropping," said. "You must stop. You will harm yourselves." "Needs this," said simply. "We can handle being cold for a while, can't." 15 minutes later, body temperature stabilized. The alien regained consciousness, confused and weak but alive. The humans moved back, letting their own bodies rewarm naturally. Was still shivering but smiled. "Welcome back, Commander." called for emergency extraction. A transport arrived within the hour. They loaded aboard first, then Prill with the damaged suit. The rest of the team boarded after. During the flight back, sat alone in the command section. The crustacean commander reviewed all the data, all the recordings, everything that had happened. That evening visited privately. I came here skeptical, the commander said. I believed the reports were exaggerated. I thought humans were either lying or foolish. And now asked. Now I understand, said. You are not lying. You are not foolish. You are something I have never encountered before. You are warriors who thrive where others die. You are survivors who help others survive. We're just humans, said. No, replied firmly. You are much more than that. When suit failed, my first thought was to extract the commander and accept the loss. That is military protocol. Preserve the mission, accept necessary casualties. But your humans did not accept loss. They refused to let die. They risked themselves without hesitation. Moved closer. I will report to the Alliance that humans are the most reliable allies I have ever assessed, not because you are invulnerable, but because you do not abandon your own. And today, you proved you will not abandon us either. Felt emotion rising. We take care of our team, all of our team. Yes, said. And now humans are part of our team. The Alliance would be honored to call humanity our allies. In the medical bay, recovered under heating lamps, sat nearby, wrapped in blankets, drinking hot tea. The bird-like alien watched the human quietly. You could have died, said, to save me. Yes, said. Why? Smiled, because that's what friends do. The final diplomatic sessions began under different circumstances. The atmosphere had changed. Where before there was curiosity mixed with doubt, now there was respect mixed with genuine friendship. Opened the session with unexpected words. The Alliance wishes to formally propose an alliance with humanity, not as a political gesture, not as a strategic convenience, but as a partnership between species who complement each other. Felt pride but kept his expression neutral. We're listening. The alien pulled up star charts. Dozens of worlds glowed in various colors. These are surveyed planets within space. Green worlds are suitable for colonization. Yellow worlds are marginal. Red worlds are considered uninhabitable. There were many red worlds, far more than green or yellow. Our civilization has expanded to all suitable worlds, continued. We cannot grow further because too many planets are hostile to our biology. Cold worlds, hot worlds, worlds with extreme weather, worlds with dangerous atmospheres. We have the technology to study these places but not to live there long term. K added detail. Most species in the galaxy evolved on stable planets like ours. Mild temperatures, predictable weather, gentle conditions. This is normal. Earth is abnormal. Your planet has ice ages and heat waves. It has hurricanes and droughts. It has deadly temperature swings that would kill most species. This made humans abnormal too, Doctor said. You evolved to survive conditions that would kill us. You are adapted for a harsh world in ways we never needed to be. Understood where this was going. You're saying humans could colonize worlds you cannot. Yes, said simply. Look at these red worlds. This one has an average temperature of -40 degrees. This one experiences temperature swings of 60 degrees between day and night. This one has constant ice storms. All are considered uninhabitable by our standards. Studied the data, but these worlds have resources. Tremendous resources, confirmed. Minerals, water, ice, strategic locations, but we cannot access them effectively. Our people cannot work there long term. Even with environmental suits, the stress is too great. Productivity is low. Injuries are common. It takes enormous resources to maintain even small outposts. But humans could live there, Wu said, seeing the opportunity. We believe so, replied. Based on what we have observed, Humans could colonize these hostile worlds with far less difficulty than we face. You could build permanent settlements. You could work without the constant fear of environmental system failure. You could thrive where we merely survive. Entered the room. The commander had been communicating with military leadership. I have authorization to discuss military cooperation. If humans can operate in environments we cannot, this has obvious strategic value. But more importantly, you have demonstrated something rare in the galaxy. What's that? Asked. Loyalty, said. You do not abandon your allies when conditions become difficult. This is more valuable than any technology or resource. The negotiations shifted into specifics. The humans offered what they had: experience with hostile environments, techniques for survival and construction in extreme conditions, the ability to settle and develop worlds they could not use. They offered their own strengths: advanced medical technology that could help humans overcome diseases their immune systems couldn't fight, energy systems more efficient than anything Earth possessed, faster-than-light travel technology, knowledge from a civilization thousands of years older than humanity. This is not charity from either side, emphasized. This is genuine partnership. We each bring what the other lacks. Over the following days, they worked out details: trade agreements, technology exchanges, joint colonization projects. It was complex, but both sides approached it with good faith. During a break, found Kay studying Earth weather data. The insect alien's antennae twitched with what seemed like fascination and horror. Your planet is terrifying, Kay said. Look at this. Tornado. Wind speeds over 300 kilometers per hour. Temperature drops of 50 degrees in hours. Hurricanes that span thousands of kilometers. How did your species survive? Smiled, we adapted. We learned. We built better shelters. We developed warning systems. We studied the weather patterns and figured out how to predict them. Every challenge taught us something. The never faced such challenges, Kay said quietly. Our world is kind, it never tried to kill us. Perhaps this made us weak. Not weak, corrected. Different. You had mental capacity free to develop other things: art, philosophy, advanced science. You didn't spend all your energy just surviving. That's valuable too. Kay considered this. Perhaps both approaches have merit. Definitely, agreed. Humans are tough, but we're not the species. We spent so much time fighting our environment that our technology development was slow. You developed faster-than-light travel while humans were still using chemical rockets. Your medicine is centuries ahead of ours. We each took different paths. And now our paths cross, Kay said. This is fortunate. On the final day, they held a ceremony. Both sides agreed to sign the formal alliance treaty. The location was symbolic: outside on the ice moon's surface in the open air. The set up heating stations for their delegation. The humans stood in the cold with only their jackets. Both groups faced each other across the ceremonial space. Stepped forward, heating suit humming. Before we sign this treaty, I wish to share what we have learned. The Alliance has encountered many species in our exploration of the galaxy. We have formed alliances before, but never like this one. The alien gestured to the frozen landscape around them. Most species we meet are like us. They evolved on gentle worlds. They seek comfort and stability. They build civilizations in safe places. This is normal. This is expected. Humanity is different. You come from a world that constantly challenged you, a world that demanded strength and adaptation just to survive. This shaped you in ways we are only beginning to understand. Looked at each human present. We searched the galaxy for intelligent life, expecting to find equals, species with similar capabilities and limitations. Instead, we found something else. We found survivors who became more than survivors. You faced adversity and became stronger. You encountered challenges and learned from them. You built civilization not despite your harsh world, but because of it. Felt the weight of those words. Earth had been hard on humanity, but that hardness had created something unique. Continued, "We offer you our friendship, our knowledge, our resources, but more than that, we offer you respect. Respect for what you survived, respect for what you became, and hope that together our two species can achieve what neither could alone." Stepped forward to respond. Humanity accepts this alliance with gratitude and hope. We come from a hard world, yes, but that hardness taught us important lessons. It taught us that survival requires cooperation. That strength comes from helping others. That diversity makes us all stronger. He looked at the delegation. "You offer us technology and knowledge we desperately need. You offer us friendship across the stars. In return, we offer everything we have, our experience, our resilience, our loyalty, and the promise that wherever this alliance takes us, humans will stand beside you." They signed the treaty on a simple tablet. Human and signatures appeared side by side. In that moment, two species from different worlds officially became allies. Stood next to, watching the ceremony. "Do you think this will work? Can two species this different really cooperate?" "I think we already proved we can," said. "We survived a storm together. We saved each other's lives. We learned from each other. The hard part is over. Now we just build on what we started." After the ceremony, they celebrated. The shared food from their world, carefully heated and served in the warm section. The humans shared food from Earth, some of it served cold, which still horrified the aliens. Sat with the soldier. They compared equipment and techniques, showed advanced scanning devices, explained human cold weather survival tricks. "You tie cloth around your face to prevent frostbite?" asked, puzzled. "Simple but effective," said. "Not everything needs to be high-tech." "True," admitted. "Perhaps we rely too much on technology. Your methods are basic but reliable." "Different tools for different jobs," said. "Sometimes simple is better." As evening came and stood outside together, the alien's heating suit worked quietly. The human's breath created small clouds in the cold air. "I have a question," said. "When you look at worlds we consider uninhabitable, what do you see?" Thought carefully. "I see challenges, but also opportunities. I see places that will be hard to settle, but not impossible. I see futures where humans can build new homes, where our children can grow up under alien stars, where we can prove that life can thrive anywhere if you're tough enough and smart enough." "And you are both," said, "tough enough and smart enough." "We'll see," said, "but we're willing to try." Made a sound that might have been a laugh. "That is the most human thing I have heard. Always willing to try, always ready to face the next challenge. Your species is either very brave or very foolish." "Probably both," admitted with a smile. The next morning, preparations began for departure. The humans would return to Earth to share news of the Alliance. They would return to their worlds to begin implementation. But before leaving, they reviewed the joint project list. First priority, establishing a human colony on a frozen world at the galaxy's edge, a planet they called Frost Prime. Average temperature, -50 degrees. Constant ice storms, considered completely uninhabitable. Reviewed the data with excitement. "It looks perfect." "Agreed, looks like home." The other humans laughed. Only humans would call a frozen hell world perfect or compare it to home. But that was the point. That was why this alliance would work. As the human ship prepared to depart, took one last look at Terminus 7. This ice moon had been the meeting place for first contact, a place where two species learned about each other, where differences became strengths, where understanding replaced fear. He thought about what came next: human colonies on hostile worlds, joint exploration missions, technology exchanges, cultural sharing. The future stretched ahead, full of possibilities. Joined him at the viewport, ready to go home and tell Earth we made friends with aliens. Ready to tell Earth we made friends with aliens who think we're crazy for liking the cold, corrected. "Same thing," said with a grin. The ship launched. Below on the ice moon, the watched the humans depart, stood outside the facility, heating suit keeping the cold at bay. The alien looked at the frozen landscape and thought about human resilience, about survivors who became more. "Farewell, friends," said quietly. "Until we meet again, on your world or ours, or on some frozen planet waiting to be tamed." The ship disappeared into the stars. The first chapter of the human alliance had been written. Many more chapters waited to be written. And somewhere in the galaxy, a frozen world called Frost Prime waited for its first human colonists. They would arrive soon. They would build shelters in the ice storms. They would work in temperatures that killed most species. They would thrive where others could only survive. Because that was what humans did. They took the impossible and made it possible. They took the deadly and made it livable. They took the challenge and turned it into opportunity. The galaxy was about to learn what Earth already knew. Humans were survivors, and survivors never quit.